Hi, boys and girls, and welcome to today's math lesson. We are going to get started by reading our I can statement. What are we going to learn how to do this week? I can add and subtract a number sentence with a missing addend. So we'll be talking about that today. What is a missing addend, and how can I solve a problem with a missing addend? Okay, let's first go over some fact fluency. That's what we're going to start with. So let's do some ones. And I want you to say it out loud, even though you're watching through a video. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Good. 1 plus 0 equals 1. Good. 2 plus 1 equals 3. 3 plus 1 equals 4. 1 plus 6 equals 7. Great. 5 plus 1 equals 6. Great. Now, let's move on to 2's. 4 plus 2 equals 6. And remember, one strategy to solve fact fluency is to put the bigger number in your head, 4, and count on from that. So I'm going to go 4 and add 2 more. 5, 6. 6 plus 2 equals 8. Good. 5 plus 2 equals 7. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 2 plus 8 equals 10, and that is a partner to 10, which we learned about. 2 plus 6 equals 8. Great. Now we're going to move on to some 3's. 8 plus 3 equals 11. Great. 6 plus 3 equals 9. And remember, if you need, you can count on from the bigger number. So you put the bigger number in your head, 6, and you add 3. So count on 3 more from 6. 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 plus 5 equals 8. 3 plus 8 equals 11. 3 plus 4 equals 7. 3 plus 0 equals 3. 3 plus 9 equals, let's use that strategy, 9, 10, 11, 12. Great job. So keep practicing your fact fluency. You got it in your resource bundle, so you can cut up those flashcards and practice those at home. Great job. We are going to get started, and we're going to be talking about missing addends today. So what is an addend? We've talked about this before. This is a part, whole picture. So you can have different pictures that show that there are 2 parts in a total. So an addend is one of the parts. So either 2 or 5. Notice how we have 2 parts that come together to make a whole. Just like we've talked about with our cubes and our objects. 2 is one of our parts, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is our other part. So this is one part, and this is one part. Each of these is an addend. It is a number that gets added to the other number to make the whole, and the whole is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the whole or total. So, oh no, we are missing an addend. And Descartes is going to help us with this. What do we do if we're missing an addend? What do we do? Look, we have one part, but we don't have the other part, but we have the whole. What do we do? All right, we're going to have to find out. This is what we do. We are going to find it by drawing a picture, drawing objects in the chart. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and do that. So we have a missing addend here. We have a missing part. We have 9 plus, I don't know, equals 10. So what we're going to do is, you will see this in your book and in your assignment. It is the same thing as this right here. So you may see this picture, you may see this picture. The whole is on the bottom right here, or you see 2 parts connecting together to get your total. So we have our total written down here. Notice how I have my total at the bottom. I have 10 at the bottom. And this line just means all of this together, both parts equals 10. So that is the same thing as this. So each of these, if you see either of these charts or these tables, that is what the pictures, that is what they mean. So let's start by drawing 9 as one of our parts because I know 9 is an addend. So let's go ahead and do that. And when I draw, I'm going to draw circles just because they're easy. And I'm going to write my numbers inside the circle. So once I draw one circle, I'll write a 1 inside. Once I draw another circle, I'll write a 2 inside because I want to keep track of my objects. I don't want to lose track of them because then I could get the wrong answer. So let's see. 1, 2. Notice how I put a 2 in my second one. 3, and I'm going to draw 9. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to write neatly so my teacher can see it. 8, 9. So I drew objects. I drew dots or counters on one of my parts. Now, I don't know what this is. I don't know how many I need to get to 10. That's the question that we're answering. How many more do we need to get to 10? 9 plus what equals 10? So what I'm going to do is notice I put a number inside each of my counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have to draw objects until I get to my total, until I can write my total inside one of the dots or the counters. So let's see, how many do we need until we get to the total? Okay, let's keep drawing on this side. So this is our other part. How many do we need to get to the total? 9, 10. Oh, I only needed one more to get to the total. So boys and girls, I'm going to erase this question mark. I just put it there so that we can see that we had a missing addend. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on this side. That's one of my addends, one of my parts. And how many counters do I have over here? I have one counter, right? And it only took one to get to the total, which I wrote inside because that's my 10th counter. And these two added together, I get my total, which is 10. So I'm going to write 1 here. 9 plus 1 equals 10. So, Descartes, do you agree with that? 9 plus 1 equals 10. We found our missing addend. That's what we do when we lose an addend, when we can't find an addend. Let's do another one. Okay, I want you to pull out your notebooks and a pencil, and you're going to do this one with me. So pause the video, pull out your notebook and a pencil. You're going to do this one with me. So again, we have 5 plus, I don't know, equals 12. So let's go ahead and start by drawing our counters. And remember, when I draw a circle, I'm going to put my number inside of it. So that number just means how many counters have I drawn already. So far I've drawn one counter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now I need to get to 12. I need to draw counters until I get to 12. So far I've drawn 5 counters. Now, on this part, will I start over by writing 1 in my counter? Will I start all the way over, or will I continue? That's right, I'll continue because I'm trying to find out how many more do I need to get to 12. That's the question we're answering. How many more do I need to get to 12? So let's keep drawing counters, and I want you to draw this with me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see how many we need to get to 12. Let's keep drawing until we get to 12. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, I will find out my missing addend by counting how many counters I put on this side. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 circles on this side for this part. So I'm going to put 7 right here. 5 plus 7 equals 12. So notice how my chart shows me that I have one part over here. There are 5 counters over here. I have 7 counters over here. And added together, you get 12. So 5 plus 7 equals 12. Now let's do another together. We are going to draw our chart, okay? So I'm going to teach you how to draw this, and we're going to do it all together. So I want you to go ahead and write blank plus 7 equals 11 at the top of your paper. Then we're going to draw our chart together. So you're going to draw a big rectangle, just like this, and you're going to put a line down the middle, okay? So we have our 2 parts here. Now, we're going to draw a line, just like a number line, but we're not going to put tick marks on it like a number line. And this just means all together. What does it equal all together? So we're going to put our total. So these are our two parts, and this is our whole. And we're going to write the total underneath our line. That just means those two parts added together equals 11. Okay, let's go ahead and draw our counters. Okay, so we don't know this part. We don't know that part, do we? We do not know. It's missing. But we know this part and we know the total. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to draw on this side just because the number is on this side. Remember, if you add the addends in any order, you get the same answer. So it's the same thing as 7 plus blank equals 11. That is the same exact problem. I'm going to write it over here just because we have our 7 over here, but we can switch it up in the future. Okay, so let's start by drawing counters. And we're going to draw 7. And remember, I'm going to write the number inside the counter of how many counters I've drawn so far, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and do this with me. Follow along with me on your own paper. So now I have to go over here, and I am going to draw counters until I draw an 11 inside a counter. So I'm going to continue on the other side. I'm not going to restart at 1. I'm going to continue on. So what comes after 7? 8. This is my 8th counter. 9. That's my 9th counter. 10 or circle. 11. Then I'm going to find my missing addend by going back and counting. How many counters did I draw? 1, 2, 3, 4. I drew 4 counters, so I can fill this in. 4 plus 7 equals 11. My 2 parts equal my whole, which is 11. Let's do another one together. Let's go ahead and draw our chart together. First, you're going to write blank plus 8 equals 13. It is the same thing as 8 plus blank equals 13 because you can add your addends in any order and you will get the same answer with addition. Okay. We're going to draw a big rectangle once you've written your number sentence and a line down the middle. Then we're going to draw our total or our whole. And we're going to write 13 underneath because that is our total. Now this time I'm going to start on this side. It does not matter what side you start on. If you prefer to visually start on this side to keep track of your parts, that is totally okay. All right, so I am going to start by drawing 8 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now I need to continue on until I get to 13. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then I'm going to go back. Notice how right here I wrote, those are the counters for 8, and this is the missing addend right here. So I switched it up. If you want to keep it within the same side, that's totally okay if your brain likes that better. So I'm going to count. How many counters did I add? So I had 8, and I'm going to count how many counters did I add. What's my missing addend? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 plus 8 equals 13. 5 plus 8 equals 13. And if you want to double check your work, you could do that by counting on. Put the bigger number in your head and count on. So let's try that. 8, and let's count on 5. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I was right. Very good job. Okay, I'm going to now show you what you will be doing on your own today. So this is what your CISA assignment looks like. I'm going to go to our workbook. You can turn to page 127 to follow along with me. You'll be doing this in your paper workbook on your CISA assignment today, okay? So just like we did earlier, we are going to be, let me get my transparent background first. There we go. So we are going to be drawing a chart just like we did in our activity, in our assignment. pull up my pencil tool. There we go. Okay, so we're going to draw a chart just like we did on our smartboard. So remember, big rectangle, and then at the bottom we show our total. It kind of looks like a number line. And we have one addend, but we do not have the other. It is missing. It says 2 plus blank equals 5. So we have our total. We have one addend. Remember, we are going to draw counters. We're going to write the numbers inside the counters, and it shows how many counters have I drawn so far. So let's start by doing that. We're going to write 1, 2, and I'm going to keep drawing counters until I get to 5. 3, 4, 5. Oh, I got to 5. I'm going to stop. I got to the total. Notice how I put the numbers inside the counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to count. How many did I put in my other part? So I had 2 here from that addend. Let's see what my other addend is. 1, 2, 3. 2 plus 3 equals 5. 2 plus 3 equals 5. You'll be doing this on your, whoops, I'm going to X out of my smartboard. You will be doing this in your seesaw activity. You will use counters to model each problem. So you're going to draw a chart just like I did on your own paper with a pencil. You can use a crayon if you want to use a crayon to color in your counters or your dots, but make sure you write your number inside your counters to help you keep track of them. So just like I did on my other page, I drew 2 counters here for this addend right here, and then I put a 1 and a 2 inside because that was my second counter I drew, my third counter, my fourth, and my fifth. And then I went back and I counted 1, 2, 3. What's my other part? 3. I want you to do this one on your own. You're going to draw the chart, the part, whole chart on your paper just like I did. And you're going to draw the total, 5, just like I did. Then you will be completing page 128. So this is page 127, 128. And you are going to look at the example to show you what to do. It's exactly what we did today, missing addend, except they did not put the numbers inside the counters. I want you to put the numbers inside the counters though, okay? So notice how they did it just like I did earlier, where they put the addend, which is 4, they put 4 counters on the same side as where the addend is. So you're gonna make sure you go back, and I want you to practice in your example too. You're gonna go back and you're gonna write 1, 2, 3, 4 counters. Then you're gonna draw how many more you need. So you're gonna draw 1, and then I'm gonna write a 5 in here, and I'm gonna keep drawing counters until I get to the total, which is 6. So then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna count how many counters did I add to get to my total. 1, 2. So I'm gonna write a 2 here, just like they did up here. Then you will complete number 1 and 2 by yourself in your notebook with a pencil, and make sure I want you to write the numbers on top of these counters. So you would write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're doing this on your paper to keep track of your counters. Then you would continue on until you get to 8. So you'd write 6, 7, and 8 until you get to the total. I'm not going to share how to do this. I want you to do that one on your own. So I can't wait to see what you can do independently. Great job following along in our math lesson today. All right, bye, boys and girls.